Good evening and welcome to D6 Arcade. This is Audio Dungeon. I'm your host, Tony Hansen, joined by the rest of the crew here, Tom Kokoza, Dan Isgro, and Damian Scro. Guys, today is the first, well, not the first episode, because it's session 0, actually, for Celestial Engine. And this is our brand new show, and we did a part 1 session 0 where we went over the creation of the characters. And today, we'll review the creation of the characters, but we're also going to go over the backstories that you guys have created and maybe fill in some blanks, as well as go over the main story that's coming up for the quest.
Okay.
So I'm excited. On this adventure will be these 3 fine gentlemen you see here, joined by Brooke Armstrong and Phil Castellano. They'll be here next week for episode 1. So if anyone's watching today, this is to get your feet wet and see what's going on. And this will be a very laid-back episode. Don't freak out.
Look at him. I'm freaking. I'm trying to make this character. Okay, I'm good.
That's why I put you alone over there.
Yeah,
they don't want you
we were just like,
Scro needs a space.
Chill out. You're not helping the vibe, man.
That's cool. I'm good. I'll be good.
Go back to my camera for a second. My camera is super blurry, just so you know.
You're in outer space.
Yes, it's blurry in outer space.
Blurry in
It's all
outer
the radiation.
space.
Probably, caused by radiation. Possibly.
Yes, it could be radiation. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's actually a super powerful camera, just really far away and zoomed in, so it's just very.
The camera's in space.
The camera's in space, looking down at you. Yeah.
The Hubble camera.
Yeah. Frankie, could you come in and fix the camera, please? This is session 0. It's all right.
This is where we got to get all these kinks out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Session 0.
Yep.
So, well, yeah, I guess I don't even want to talk because it's just gonna be with fuzzy me. So
Is your voice powerful enough to overcome the
The
fuzziness of the camera?
No.
I think so.
I wish.
Wow, you have a little faith in yourself, man.
Yeah. I feel
My voice can't permeate the fuzz.
You can't permeate the fuzz.
Can't permeate it.
Ooh, yeah. Look at that.
Oh,
Oh
beautiful.
my God, there it
Wow,
is.
it's like going from SD
Frankie.
to HD. Uh-oh.
We're back to 4.
Okay,
Oh,
here we go.
we're back to 4K.
Oh. Ooh.
I don't know. I may add back in the other thing. Okay, so I'm gonna dance around the screen a little bit. Okay, guys. So Celestial Engine. This system is a custom system that worked on for 5 years now,
Whoa.
and it is the last, I want to say, year and a half has been worked on by the amazing gentlemen that I'm about to show you right now. They're about to join us. It is Charles, Richard, and Andrew, and let's bring them into chat right now.
Bring them on in, yeah.
There they are.
There we are.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Can you hear us?
We can.
Yes.
So we've been working on this system every Tuesday for the last year and like 3 months, and
It's been a long drive.
it's been a wild ride, and it's been a lot of switches, a lot of changes, and but it's in a really good place. I'm very happy where it is, and every time we kept changing is because I felt like this is good, but I'm not having enough fun. I wanted to have more fun. I demanded more fun.
I demand more fun.
Yes.
Wait, do you mean more fun playing a game with this system or more fun making the system?
No, playing it.
Playing it under the system.
Experiencing it, playing it, or
Okay.
you look at your choices, and you're excited to like what you can play and what you can make. I feel like that's be fun. And then when you're rolling the dice, same thing. Like it's got to feel fun every moment. At least that's what I try to do, and that's what we've been trying to do together. So this system
And
is
simplize it too.
Yeah.
Tony, don't forget that. We tried to make it nice and simple and easy.
Yes, simple, fun, and with depth. That was it. That was not easy at all. So it's the D6 system. This is very similar to the system that we used last time. It's just an evolution of that system, so if anybody knows it. We're using these sheets right in front of me, which is a black and white copy. It'll be color next week. This is what it looks like. And yes, it is all D6 based. So you guys, I think, know how to use the system, so I won't go very much into it. When you're attacking, you have combat dice to see if you can hit. You add them together. Everything else, when you're doing damage, you add them together, see how much damage you do. Everything else in the system is about rolling D6 dice and taking the 6. So, for example, if I tell you to climb, and you have 3 dice for climbing, you roll them. If you get a 6, you succeed. If you do not get a 6, you fail. And I do award, I can see other game masters not playing with this, but I do award if you need 1/6 and you get like 3. I feel like that should be like your natural 20 moment, like you're doing something crazy.
I like it. I like it.
So that's how that goes.
A whole system is D6.
Yes, entirely in D6s. Yep. So that's it.
D20s.
Yeah. So stats stack. If you have like a 2 in Constitution and you have like a 1 in Climb, which is underneath Constitution, they would stack together. You would roll 3 dice. Okay. Underneath that, you have all your loadout skills, which are like all passive skills that boost you in different ways, but according to the stats. You have 7 stats on the paper: Strength, Agility, Constitution, Intelligence, Talent, Survival, and Will. Below that, you have Combat. You'll keep building up your combat by taking the skills and then adding up the dice, getting more combat dice, more damage dice. You have a defense in each single stat, and the highest defense is the one that you naturally approach combat with. So if like you're a big guy and you're gonna use your strength to try to use your size,
Right.
that if roleplay wise, that would mean you're probably using your strength, right? If you want to think about it in game. So that person would come in and always fight that way. But maybe they can't win and they realize they have to try to be more precise. So in the system, you would be switching over to your intelligence, you know? So you have a defense stat that you start with. That's the one you use. If someone comes along and insights you, they can actually switch your defense to a worse one for you. Perhaps your agility is really low, and they sense that, they feel like that might be the case. They can insight you. If successful, they say, I want Tom to use his agility, and maybe it's a lot lower. So min-maxing is kind of defeated, because min-maxing, you can go for it, but there's a risk.
Right.
You know, you're like your first defense. I'm really strong, but or I'm playing basketball, but you have no idea that I can't use my left hand, and then you figure that out, and now you can defeat me because I can't dribble my left side. You know, that's kind of what it is. Find the weakness.
Like that.
So that's it. You have combat, and then you can use combat through all those stats. On the bottom of your sheet, you have your advanced skills. You have skills that you have focus. You have to maintain concentration every round. You have skills that are called stack skills. Those skills are specifically stacked onto natural skills up top. For example, like sleight of hand is a natural skill. Everyone has that. But if you find the stack skill pickpockets, you can actually use pickpockets with your sleight of hand and stack all the dice together. So if you had 2 in pickpockets and you had 3 in sleight of hand and then 1 in talent, that'd be 1 + 3 + 2 all together.
Okay.
So stack skills are specific boost to skills.
Oh, is that why there are 2 columns there? So you have the number of die and the skill that it
You always have the SKL, the skill level,
it goes underneath.
and that one tells you what it stacks with, so you know.
Right. So you have a number and a skill.
Right.
Or a number and a okay.
The next one to the right is knowledge. Knowledge skills are interesting because let's say you have like nature, and you see an ancient tree and you want to ask. You might turn to me and say, "Oh, do I know anything about that tree? I have nature knowledge." I'll say roll, and then you'll roll your skill level in nature knowledge. Okay. If you have 4 skill level or higher in knowledge, is the only one that's like this 4. You can then add your intelligence onto it. Number of dice.
Wait,
You have 4 skill level in any knowledge.
Yep.
Add your intelligence. It's a boost. It just means that you've maxed out the normal level of maxing, which is 4, and then you can add your intelligence on as a boost. That's it. So you would roll it. If every 6 you get means you can ask me yes or no questions, like Riddles in the Dark. Tom, you ever played that game?
I've heard of that game before. Good
Yeah.
game.
What happened to that game?
I never played it. I never seen the game from the field. No, I can't remember the line at all. I remember that it said in Rudy. Rock. He says, "I've never seen a game from the stands." No, okay. But I digest. So, you laugh at that joke every time. You love that joke.
I love it.
Tom loved that joke. Okay. So every 6 you would ask a yes no question. I will answer honestly. It's a change on the things that we used to do back in the day. And you could pinpoint the exact answer if you asked the right question, of course.
Right.
You know, did Damien murder the guy? Yes.
So now underneath
You got it.
knowledge, we're going to have what? Different topics within which we can have knowledge?
Yeah, you'll have warfare. You can have nature. You can have herbs and potions. You know, literally anything. And you'll
History.
ask. History is in there. You'll ask, "Oh, can I use this knowledge?" And more likely, it'll be obvious.
Okay.
And I'll say yes or no.
All right.
So knowledge checks also act as a cap for other stuff, but really just for crafting stuff. So if you were like an outlander and you were crafting things in the wild, like making it like a knife, right, for example, then nature, your knowledge would also be the cap for how many sixes you're allowed to achieve when like trying to carve that knife. So it says it in each skill. So some skills are caps for crafting things in that environment. So and it says in the skill, you'll see what it is, like herbs and potions. Like say you want to craft herbs and potions, right? And you say, oh, I get 6 dice for crafting herbs and potions. Let's say you roll 6 sixes, which would be amazing, right? But
Not
your
bad.
herbs and potions knowledge is only a 3. You can only use 3 of those. You're capped by your knowledge.
So where are you getting 6d6 from?
When you take it, you'll get like brewing, for example, if you were like a potion creator. You'll get brewing, and brewing is a stack skill for craft. So you would add all those dice together, and you say, well, I get 7 dice. But then I go, okay, well, what's your herbs and potions? You might say 3. And that means you can only take 3 successes from all those dice.
Okay.
And that's how the entire craft system works. The knowledge caps you, and then you have the one that's like, how good can you craft? But you're limited by your knowledge.
Okay.
Okay. So you have that dual thing with the knowledge skills. Focus skills are, hey, Tim's joining us. Tim, welcome.
Tim!
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
What's happening?
Quiet smiles.
Hey guys.
Welcome.
There it is.
Peppermint Tim.
I forgot what his name was. So focus skills are if you're casting invisibility, for example, it's something you have to focus on every round, you have to roll a concentration check. The first round, cast invisibility, right? The second round, now it's in your memory and you're trying to concentrate on it, you now need to roll a concentration check. And if you're doing one thing that I'm telling you needs a concentration, then you need 1 R6. One rolled 6. If you're doing concentration and like some kind of magical armor on yourself, you now need to roll 2 6s. And if you fail one, you have to drop 1. And that could apply to a couple of things. For example, what if you're climbing a wall and you're also trying to maintain invisibility? Climbing would go, because it's physical, uses endurance. So you have to roll endurance check to do your second climb check. Like if you're holding on, for example. Because if you're climbing around, you'd be climbing. But if you're holding on, something like that, you would then roll endurance every round. So if you fail the endurance, you would fall. And you have to roll concentration to keep yourself invisible.
Right.
So, make sense?
Yes.
You have advanced reactions, which are specific reactions for things. For example, there's something called Fire Guard. A lot of them have the word guard after it. And all it means is whatever your skill level is, that's how many dice you can ignore from that source coming in. So that's it. So someone attacks you with fire and you have a Fire Guard, a skill level of 2, you can ignore the top 2 dice.
Okay.
Okay? That's advanced reactions. Again, specific reactions to things. And the last column, as you know, is power skills. And they have cooldowns. So, for example, to use the most classic spell, Fireball, for example, which is not in the system. Well, it is in the system in a way. Fireball, as it might have a cooldown, save 3. That means that for 3 rounds, that column only is shut down.
Right.
And that's it. Those are all your advanced skills. And that's it. That's how it works. You have 3 wit. You can do 3 different things in a round. And that's it. Any questions about the system? If not, we're going to get right into the history and the character building and such.
I think we're good.
Right. I just want to be clear because when we go into the character building stuff, I'm allowed to trade. If I have 3 wit, I can. That's luck. Never mind. I can trade luck for stat swaps, right?
The cost.
When you're creating the character.
When I'm creating the character only.
Yes.
That's
So you have 7.
beginning.
You have 7 stats, which means that you could do a max of 3 swaps.
Yep.
So if you did that, your luck would lower 1 each time down to a 0.
Right. I didn't do that much. But I,
Right. Yeah. So that's fine.
Okay.
So let's go around the room and let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about who your characters are and where you're looking on going through the professions.
Okay.
Want to start? Yeah.
Sure.
You're in the Rob seat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey.
You're the anchor.
I feel like probably the opposite of the anchor. But yes. So my character is named Miles Oakbriar.
Oh my God.
He is a dwarf.
Tell them who he's based off of.
I think we'll figure it all out. But yes, there's a character in the Star Trek universe, and he's in Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, named Miles O'Brien, who's a chief. No pun intended, but pun achieved. Inspiration for this character, right? Because my character is somebody who starts out as a soldier and then moves into a career where he's not. He doesn't necessarily want to be a fighter. He wants to be someone who builds and maintains technology. So he moves away from that warrior background into like an engineering kind of phase. So the way that I build a character is like I'm going to have that warrior setup as my initial profession. I'll have the ability to kind of go through that. But then the fact that I'm a dwarf, I have access to go into like that tinkerer path as well. So I follow through that tinkerer path, and then I build my way up into being an engineer.
So the professions you're looking at are going to be, for your character as you build it, it's going to be warrior, it's going to be a tinkerer, and then you're going to go into engineer, which is getting to like the heavier equipment and such.
Exactly, and that's my thought is that he's going to really try and like work towards how to like build and maintain this gnomish technology that I think that a lot of people look at as an alternate way for the creatures of this earth to kind of live if they choose not to live under the rule of the dragons.
Right. So might be good. Before we continue, might be a good time to go over the main story, and then we continue through the characters. So this is a stellar tabletop playthrough. That's how I'm building it. It is a bit of a mystery in the beginning. You will start on a space station, and this is the first space station ever for Endaria. Obviously, if you've watched Celestial War, which now is completed, you know that obviously there was no such thing as space, except for a little bit with one part. Well, no, not with Brooke, with the end of Iron Kingdom.
Yeah, there's a little...
The Valdorans. So there was a bit of it, and the space obviously for you guys. I've had that prepped for a very long time. I had that conversation with Taylor as I told her once. She goes, "What do you have like at the end of this?" I go, "Well, very far in. I'm very excited for space." She goes, "Space?" He goes, "How does space get involved?" I was like, "It takes a long time to get to space." So we're finally here. I'm very excited. We're in the I guess the sequel to Celestial War, which is Celestial Engine. I'm gonna play now the intro, which will give you a little bit of insight into the world of Celestial Engine.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
Now. This is a great time for
Light 'em
popcorn.
up.
Popcorn begin.
30 years ago, the free nations of Endaria sent an airship into the Stellar. A few years later, another. Until finally the station Arky 1, known as the Ark by its small crew, was born. Not just a symbol of the mortal ingenuity, the Ark is a symbol that mortals have a chance. A chance to not lose their world to those who would take it for themselves. Welcome to the story of the Celestial Engine.
There it is, guys. You're seeing it for the first time. The Celestial Engine does the intro. So we've just discovered that Endarians, or the free citizens of Endaria, have gone to space. And why do they go to space? Well, if you didn't know, what's going on is from the last quest, something happened, in case somebody wants to go back and watch all 260-something episodes. That's how many it is.
Ooh.
No, I'm sorry. It's 206 episodes, I think.
That's
Something
a
like
lot.
that. Something happened where you guys came back, and in between that quest and this quest, Dragonkind made a deal. And there's a reason why they did that deal, and they made that deal that they were going to take over because they feel like mortals can't accept the responsibility that's required to take over the planet, and that they should rule. They are the closest thing to being immortal. They're very powerful and obviously more significant. Many nations do not like this. Many nations are okay with it. We actually went through into Session 0. If somebody wants to go back, and a few weeks ago we recorded Session 0 Part 1. This is Part 2. And we actually talked about which nations we thought, and that's the ones that are now in stone, the ones that are against the dragons, the ones that are for. So one that's against is Rhaegar and the Iron Kingdom. And within that 50 years, led by the gnomes because they had the technology, they sought to go into what they call the stellar, which is basically just the space right outside the planet of Indaria. And we never visited this really, only for a second. We talked about with Brooke, and then one other part with the end of Iron Kingdom. When they get there, they find exactly what they were looking for, what they were hoping for. And it's also the reason why dragons don't want mortals going up there. Because there are shattered remains of the moon from, if you remember when it was destroyed, if it was shattered to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually crystal, very powerful, very potent crystal that is just floating in the atmosphere and is, in many cases, in meteorites, in rock, and it's all around in that stellar. And the dragons kind of see what mortal kind is trying to do and don't like it. The dragons can't breathe in space, but they can hold their breath for a bit. They do have the ability to go up only so high, and that's pretty much where you guys will be in the story. Again, we're not in outer space, we're right outside.
Right on the edge.
Right. So the threats are that the dragons want to stop this. If they found out where the station was, that would be bad. They would probably destroy it. And it took a long time, about 20 years plus, for the station to get set up. As you see in the intro, it was 2 ships that went up, and then eventually they turned those 2 ships into a space station, which is that awesome rotating station that you saw. And they called it the Arky 1, if you didn't see that. And
Nice.
the crew calls it the Ark.
Okay.
So
Like that.
that's the basics of the story. And the story starts off as a mystery because you guys are going to start this story in a very interesting way. You're not going to start the story in physical form. That's
Out
all.
of bodies.
Out of body.
Out of
Richard's
bodies.
already doing that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm going to tell you. You're going to start it, and and it's going to be an interesting mystery about how you start, and the way you start and the way you play is going to be completely different than the rest of the games. Probably for the first episode will be very unique,
Okay.
and it will require
First
a lot of
two.
teamwork.
Oh boy.
So,
I say first 2.
what'd you say?
I say first 2.
First two,
First
maybe,
2, yeah.
maybe.
probably.
You got to add one episode for
Right. Tomfoolery.
Tom for Tom Kokoza Fool.
So I don't know if I'm getting ahead, but are we gonna have help from the fans on that part of the story? Because I know that's part of.
We are just here to judge.
Yes.
Well,
So
I know that
so
you
we
guys are going to be
specifically
with us for part of and
we
going down
specifically
the
brought
road,
the
yeah.
fans on to judge you live.
Oh, okay.
We want them to
just
because
judge it.
they usually judge you from the comment section. I
Right.
thought that's too quiet.
It is.
We need to bring that up to the front.
Yeah, we want instant
Yeah.
feedback on.
Yeah, you don't
Right.
always
How
see
terrible.
the comments, so we got to be here a little more so we can
Right,
vocalize
right.
it.
So the fans actually are going to play a. I don't know if I want to ruin it or not, but the fans are
No.
going to play
I was wondering if they're going to be like
they're playing.
there. Are they there in the very beginning with us or not necessarily? I'm just wondering. You don't
Yes
have
and
to
no.
answer. Okay.
I'll take a patient
Yeah,
Tom.
that's
Yes
fine.
and no.
That's fine. I was just curious.
So,
Can
yeah.
experience
all.
one.
So yeah, they are there, but
Okay.
I don't know if they'll make an appearance in the first episode. It really
Okay.
depends on what you guys do and how successful you are.
Right. Okay.
But the fans actually have a part in this story. And any fans who are watching that are not the fans on the screen, you will have a part as well. You're allowed to give advice and help them out and get through. And let me tell you how many times that fans have helped them when none of them at the table can get it, and the fans are all screaming in chat, it's this, it's this, it's
So
this.
much.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
absolutely, it's a great way to play the game. And for the super fans that we have over here to the side, you guys are going to play sort of a complementary character to what you guys are doing. I don't want to say side character because it's more significant than that. But you'll see how that goes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't want to. I guess I don't want to spoil anything more.
No,
I'm
that's
dying to
fine.
play it. I wish we could
Fine.
start right now because I would just go. I'm dying to just
I
go.
have chat open right now just because that's how I do it. Should I not do that when we're playing though?
No, do chat for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there's times that you won't be able to talk because I'll be DMing. So just put it in chat there, and that'll get it to me. And there'll be times when you're role playing in character, and then obviously don't worry about it. So that's a story. So we know Tom. Tom's character is literally he's taking it from the page from Miles O'Brien. Miles O'Brien fought the Cardassians, and then he hates Cardassians. As we find out in one of the episodes in Next Generation, when his old captain comes back, and we find out that there's a lot of rage there. So I don't know. Are you gonna have any rage in your character?
Well, we'll find out how that plays out. I think most of my characters have some sort of rage inside of them, but
Interesting.
Something, but it's usually pretty well hidden. I think it'd be fun. I'm a dwarf, so you have to lean into
right.
You have to lean
it
into
allows
that
you to lean into that rage.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to play a dwarf. I wanted to do something that's a little bit more of a physical character.
It's very appropriate because the dwarves, I guess, are closely related or are assumed to be like Scottish. Right? So Miles O'Brien, I don't know what he is, but
he's Irish. He's
Yeah.
Irish, and
He's
I'm
Irish.
not going to do his voice, but I am going to do an Irish accent for the voice.
For real?
Yeah,
Can we get a taste of this?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, hold on.
I'm scared for you.
Yeah, me too. I put it out there. Now I got to do it. Hello, my name is Miles O'Brien, and I'm the engineer on this ship.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So
it's
it's
there.
It's Oak Brian?
Oakbriar.
Oak Briar,
Briar.
okay.
Oakbriar. So I feel that's a good dwarven last name.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are the we're gonna see how far you get into the character build with your 5,000 experience points. You build your character, but basically you're going for the engineer with the warrior background.
Yep.
So let's go back to Dan. Now that we know the story, we know Tom's character. What is your character?
I don't have a name for my character yet. I have to give more thought to my name.
May I suggest Worf Dutch?
Worf,
Have you thought
son of Zog. Star Trek references this episode.
No, but I'm gonna be playing a wizard who is a Seth.
Yeah.
And the path that I want to take is probably I want to be a geomancer. I'm probably going to get there by going through apprentice, then wizard to geomancer. But my idea is that I want my character to be magically proficient, but kind of fascinated with the crystals. So he's going to have a high level of intelligence. He's going to know a lot of trivia, a lot of facts about crystals, how they act, how to react, how their magic reacts with certain things, and mainly like how to locate them and how to find them. So like that's basically like his job on the ship, is to bring his knowledge and to bring his magical acumen with the crystals.
So Phil's character, who's not here today, who is like an armorer, and he's basically going into technomancer at the end because he wants to be able to like use the crystals. Basically, that's the way to get knowledge of the crystals. So your character in those classes wouldn't have any knowledge of crystals, but he would absolutely have knowledge of magic. Is that where you're going for, or are you trying to almost go into the technomancer?
No, I don't want to like.
You don't want to use crystals.
It's his desire isn't to get the crystals and use them. It's like he reveres them, he respects them.
Okay, so basically, it's exactly like on the head. Like you're gonna be, like the magical, knowledgeable guy.
Yeah.
Besides being a wizard who casting spells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I like if I know what's happening here and I'm going up into the stellar, my goal is to help everyone find the crystals for the good of the planet. So like if Phil is going to use them to make armor, or if the gnomes are going to use them to advance technology to the point where we can put up a fight against the dragons, that's what I feel like my role in all of this is. Like I don't have to use them. I have no desire to use them, but I do enjoy learning about them. I do respect the power that they have, and I want to help us find them.
And how do you personally feel about playing a wizard on show for the first time?
I don't know. I haven't played a wizard in a long, long time.
Yeah. I want to say that this system is easier for wizards than like the Dungeon Dragon.
I would recommend them. They got a lot of bag of tricks in the system.
5e system.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying better, I'm just saying easier because the spells are more confined.
All right.
Like, you don't look through 40 spells, is what I'm saying.
That's not what makes me nervous. What makes me nervous is that like the wizard kind of almost naturally
leads the party.
I'm like the decision maker. I'm the diplomat.
Yeah, it is tricky. I gave Tom the task of the wizard, and he was right aboard. It's like, yeah, I was thinking of playing Elven Wizard, and because I feel like he could handle it, and he did a great job. So it is a problem because if you feel like you can't be or fake as smart as the wizard is, then
It's all about faking.
it's tricky.
Yeah.
But you have knowledge
struggle
skills. I
with
mean,
that all the
you can ask me, like, pump your knowledge up because you're gonna be asking me a lot of questions, and you just spew it to your friends like you just knew the information.
So what kind of
Right.
what kind of knowledge skills should I take?
Oh, well, that's
Dan,
the
can I give you a
question.
suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you look at going the way you're doing it, but also tag in Sage?
Sage.
Because
That'd
that
give you a lot
would
of
Sage would then give you
book
access to the
knowledge.
Great Library, and would give you other more your knowledge-based stuff. So that might be how you are. So you're more of a book smart geomancer versus something else.
That's definitely exactly what I'd be looking for.
So you could start. So you're doing basically. You could start. So learning would be your first archetype, and then for your cultural path and your mastery under Seth, you would take wizard, and then that would get you to other ones, and that would also give you the elemental proficiency you need to go into elementalist. So those would be your two. So you could work that out.
So where is
Learned,
where is Sage?
learned
Learn.
archetype.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's definitely doable.
Okay.
That's good. That's a big
I
help.
like that. Thanks, Richard.
The
Yeah.
knowledge skills are super valuable because I feel like the first thought when you see a knowledge skill, you're like, what's that going to do? But it's not. It's literally a super power to have those skills because you can ask me anything. If you think like is this key going to kill me if I put it in this kind of door because I've seen these doors before? It's some kind of gnomish technology. Ask me the question, yes or no. I'm going to tell you. If it's something specific you can't know, you won't know it. But if it's general knowledge about that thing, by history or lore, absolutely you're going to get that information. So the knowledge skills are super, super powerful, and it will literally fill all those gaps when you just don't know what to do.
Okay.
Dan, you can still go into
if you do it right,
apprentice.
Dan.
What's
You
that?
can still do apprentice, start apprentice, and go into Sage because it's a purple. So you take your one level of magic user, arcane, and you can get into Sage, and then go that way.
So going apprentice.
Yeah, if you still want to do apprentice, you can still do apprentice and go into Sage, and then pick up your elemental proficiencies, and then you can get elementalist, and then geomancer after that.
Would elementalist be better than
Well, no, because
Wizard?
wouldn't there be a problem there? Because it means that he's taking apprentice, and the power level he's taking is in learned, which means he wouldn't have one in arcane to go to.
No,
Sage
he
has
would
one
do it
arcane
as-
and one learned.
Sage has
It's a
both.
power-
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's one and
So,
one.
yeah, so you could dip in and get out of it. Yep.
what was that though?
He was saying that Sage has a 1-in-1
Yeah.
wizard and learned, so you can go over there. It works. You can hop in, hop out.
So you're saying apprentice, elementalist, sage, geomancer.
Yes.
Okay.
In a roundabout way, yeah.
Why? Let me ask you this: Why would elementalist be preferable to wizard?
Well, you have to have
Yeah,
elementalist to
you
get
need it.
geomancer.
I need elementalist.
it's the
to get
lower level
I
geomancer.
see. Okay. Haven't even gotten there yet. I see. Okay. Okay.
And that way
Elementalist
there,
is
it
one of
gives
those-
you your learned stuff, and it gives you your combat stuff with your elementalist. So it gives you covers both things.
I got you.
Apprentice has got a lot of utility stuff, so you would want that. And then you go into the learned and the sage, pick up what you need in there, and then hop over to elementalist while you're there.
Yeah.
Or
So
you
check
can
it out.
split,
As a
There's-
go
really field
elementalist.
idea, you could use pistols as well.
Oh, interesting.
Pistols.
If you want to grab a
Ooh.
pistol from Sage.
Ooh, and then elemental enchant with pistol. Nice.
Yes.
Elemental
What is-
enchant the
what-
pistol.
Which element are you thinking of doing?
Which element are you thinking of? He's asking.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I haven't thought about it, to be honest.
You only got 4 to choose from. so-
Space. Yeah.
And also, as you go up, you choose 4. I'm sorry, you choose one of the 4, and then you'll eventually have a choice when you get more than one, when you get like 2 or 3, that you can choose a combination. and you take like a combination which is between the two elements. Like what's one of them, for example? Like
Earth, fire, water, wind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do earth and air and get lightning.
Right. So you do earth and air, and then it gives you lightning abilities because you actually go combine them together, and that's how you get that lightning ability.
You can do water and air and get sonic. You can do fire and earth and get lava.
Wow.
Fire and air is smoke.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
So
all
there's-
down the road as you keep evolving.
Yeah.
So
Way down the road.
yeah. So
Okay.
check it out. You have a lot of ways to go, and that should be a fun build for sure.
Yeah.
So again, for anyone just joining us right now, this is session 0. We're just going over the builds. We're going over the backstories of the characters. Next week is the official first episode. There'll be 5 players plus the fans on here, and it's going to be a stellar tabletop playthrough, like a bit of a mystery for the first couple episodes, and then it goes nuts. Let's go over to Damien. Damien, what are you looking at?
Well, I'm going to be playing a gnome, and I'm still also working on my name. I'm not totally sure just yet, but I'm going to be playing a gnome with a background in gunsmith and gnomish technology, and I'm planning on starting in the gunsmith profession and working my way up to pilot.
So you're doing gunsmith, and then you're hopping over to technology tree, and then you're doing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
tinkerer.
do the cultural path actually. So under gnome,
Yep.
I'm gonna go cultural path to the tinkerer, which will get me into pilot once I can
Right.
unlock that. Once I've done gunsmith, because I
Right.
still have to like do
Yeah,
gunsmith to kind of go that, but go like that in that direction.
Cool. So we have, I know Phil's going to be basically an armorer that specializes eventually in crystal technology, which is obviously something new in the last 50 years that they're starting to imbue the crystals into armor. So it basically what the gnomes have been doing with technology, the whole world is kind of seeing it and going, you know what, this is kind of cool. We can kind of make our own thing of it. And that's kind of what evolves in that time as well. So he'll be that armorer using crystal tech. And then Brooke is a sage, and she is going to, like an investigator, I believe, maybe a detective. And that's your party. Armorer, pilot, wizard, detective, engineer. And then also you have the fans here who have characters that'll be helping you as well. Let's go to them. Charles, tell us a little bit about the character.
My little gnome, he's going to be a gnome. His name is Gilder McSprinkleson. He is a tinker, and I'm split to go through mechanic and pilot. He's all about the suits.
Nice.
Cool.
Richard.
I'm still working on what I'm going to go, but I'm heading down the thing of a dungeon runner. So it's going to be probably a halfling dungeon runner.
Going rogue again, huh?
Yeah, I like rogues. Rogue and rogues go hand in hand.
Nice.
And also gives the utility skills that you guys probably won't have. So it's having that as a backup.
That's true. They have no rogue.
So now I'm thinking.
Now I'm thinking.
Now
I turned it
I'm
on
beginning to
before.
think.
I have begun thinking.
Well, he's playing the part. He's the wizard.
Exactly.
I am thinking, everyone. Let me think.
It's time for me to think. If we're going to be in space on a space station,
I like where you're going. I like where you're heading.
right?
Okay.
How is a dungeon going to present itself? Is it a part of the mystery?
You know it's going to happen.
I wish I could tell you. Let
Well,
me just say that everyone's abilities here will be very useful. Everyone. And that in fact is a part of the mystery. The mystery, as we talked about, is what you requested, is basically how to use everyone's abilities to the best. Maniac Mansion style, right?
I'm also
Yeah.
thinking that, the traditional thought of dungeon is not necessarily what we're going to encounter in this.
Right.
Like a dungeon, it could be, it could almost be like a space station up in space. That could be a dungeon.
Space dungeon.
I mean, that could be,
Well-
in a way, like a similar, scenario.
Richard,
like,
I
Well, the
I hope you had
skills
to-
that Dungeon Runner has is things like creatures and puzzles and being able to walk on walls and that type of things. So that's why I thought that might be handy to have.
Well, if we ain't got no gravity, everybody will be walking on walls.
Right.
Exactly. I'll just have full control.
I'll be in full control. Andrew, what are you doing?
My plan basically hasn't changed from a month ago. I'm gonna be a dwarf named Samuel Iron Toes. He's starting as an outlander and then going into elementalist. Go elemental earth to be, because the whole backstory I want to do with him is he's part of the mining crew. So it's gonna be help digging through all the asteroids, getting to the crystals.
Right. So Andrew is saying he's part of the mining crew that's on the station. So all of you guys are on the station for a reason. You're not just citizens that happened to find your way there. You went up with a purpose.
We were sent.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
How long ago were they sent?
How long ago were they sent? I will not answer that question.
You didn't roll enough sixes.
What is your question, Dan?
So, we're in the station. Are we the only ones on the station? Are we manning the station? Are we the only ones on it? Or are there other people with us?
Who's we?
He speaks French.
The party
One of his languages.
and them.
No. The party members. That's a good way to put it.
The party members. Are there more people than the party members at the station?
Are the party members the only?
It's like we're playing right now. He's so worried about the question.
Are the party members the only people on the space station?
It's a great question.
That is a good question.
It's a great question.
Can't tell.
Okay.
I can't answer that. I could answer it, but
Here's a question:
Good.
Is
Again,
that
none of
a
sixes,
question?
Dan.
Yes or no?
yes, it's a great question. That could absolutely answer that all day long.
Cool.
Tim, you didn't think about any characters, or are you just gonna be hanging out and watching?
No, actually, and I apologize for not being on with the character building thing yesterday evening. I was thinking, I have, not just with you guys, but traditionally back with all of my role playing, I've always been some type of a rogue. A thief, acrobat, assassin, that sort of thing.
Right.
So I thought I would kind of break from that and try out like a fighter moving to a raider kind of character.
Interesting. So they brought you on for security reasons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's the muscle.
Yeah.
I like it.
How much
and
XP are we going to be using?
It's a comment here from Oni coming up from before. Derelict ships are basically dungeons. 100%. 100%.
Terrifying.
Derelict?
Technically, there's no derelict
You want
ships
the
up
Event
there.
Horizon, man.
No, it's not derelict.
Oh, yeah. That's bad news.
That's bad news.
Bad news,
Are you
bad.
sure?
Not
The
for
question
us.
is, how much XP are we using for our characters, Tony?
You could do the same amount, 5,000. Okay, so we have. I'd love to ask if you want to. I feel like it's gonna be a frustrating process, but if you want to ask me questions, I would love to answer the ones that I can answer.
The ones that you can answer.
Yeah, but if for me to answer the other ones, we would literally be ruining the fun of the first episode when you get to see like, oh wow, this is what we're doing and this is what's happening, and and you know.
As much as I'd like to ask a question, I know you'd be, I can't answer that, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, if you know, feel free to try, and if I can, I definitely will.
Okay. We don't know how long we've been on the ship, and when the quest begins, we're not going to be in physical form. I think you said something to that effect.
Correct.
Will our characters have knowledge of their roles and abilities on the ship when the quest begins?
Yes.
Okay.
Will our characters have knowledge
Of our roles and abilities.
Of our abilities and roles. on the
See,
ship.
I'm smart.
are we going to remember going onto the ship and taking off?
Yes.
Okay.
to get there, like from the planet. You're saying?
You're going to remember getting onto the ship.
I have a question. Sorry.
Did I forget to put a period there?
Let me just clarify. Where we are. No, I don't know if that's. Anyway.
Will we have the memory of our
No. Did we have to take a small ship to get up to
stress.
like where we are in the station, or is it? Did we travel? Did we travel to a space station, or are we on the same vehicle that we used to get up there into orbit?
Lots of questions there. So
I know.
I think what you really want to know is, one, are we taking a ship up to the space station? And two, are we starting on that ship or space station?
Sort of, yeah. Because that's what he was asking about, like, were we going to remember the trip? And I assume you mean from the planet to the station?
You will remember.
No.
You will remember that you took a ship to get up to the station.
Okay. That's pretty much, that answers my question.
Yeah, and that's
Right,
not
we
totally
had to-
accurate what I just said, but it's
Okay.
accurate enough to give you the information.
Okay.
Will, in order to, at any point,
I never thought today would be so tense.
just at any point, will we be put in, let's say, a state of stasis?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is it
I can see
during
that.
the trip from the planet to the station?
Most likely.
Interesting.
Do our characters know how long before, how long it will be, how much time there will be in between us taking off and the beginning of the rule of the dragons?
Oh.
He's trying to figure out how far we're going.
Well, then-
You
I don't think they would be able to know.
No, well, we know how far,
trying-
kind of. We know we're, like, basically in orbit of the planet, regardless of
I'll answer a
how
different
high
question.
or shallow of an orbit and whether it's decaying and all that is stuff. But
You know it won't take too long to get up there,
Uh-huh.
but now I'm going to answer a different question that you didn't ask. You know that you guys need to get this done before the dragons take power and or find the station. Now in this game,
so they don't know about the station.
no. So
That's big.
If they knew about the station would be gone.
Dragon's bad.
Right, we know that they
Yes.
can. We know
To
that the
us.
dragons, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we know that the dragons can fly up into low orbit, at least for a
Yes.
time,
As long as they hold their breath.
like they're holding
Yes,
their breath.
so they
right.
can they can fly into the orbit that you guys are at. They can only be there for a limited amount of time.
Okay. And they don't know
So
that the
why
station's
would
up.
we have to worry about them in an extended space situation?
Because we're
Well,
not
they would go back down, but they can come back up.
Right.
right, and we're not in high space that they can't get to
Right,
at all.
they-
Like
we're
They
reachable.
can get to the space station.
Yeah, we're
yeah.
Low
reachable.
orbit.
Yeah, exactly. You're like at where a satellite would be. You're a satellite.
So how long is it then?
Oh yeah, it's like, do we know
How long
when the 50-year mark is going to
Right.
be up? Like, and that's when they take rule, right?
So-
that's what you're referring to before. Right?
So I think it's
50-year.
I think as in the intro, it's about 30 years where they finally get everything moving along, and then they are trying to hurry up and finish everything, get on their feet, because they want to be able to oppose the dragons with some sort of power. Because if a dragon, there's only a few cities that the dragons would attack, I think, and lose. But that's like one dragon, two dragons. I'm thinking, I'm
Right.
trying to think dragon
Yeah.
versus dragon. And the dragons, remember from Atlas's battle with the Iron Kingdom, that's a sore spot. I'll tell you now that if you don't remember this fact, Atlas, a dragon that we've seen in prior quests, is now in charge of all the dragons because of what he survived and what he did and what he accomplished.
He's a hero.
He's become head of the dragons. He's also the largest of all the dragons on the council, and he was defeated by the Iron Kingdom. So they take the threat of mortals very real, knowing that mortals can be dangerous, And in a way, it kind of goes against what they're saying, but also supports what they're saying. They're saying that mortals don't have the ability to run the planet. They're going to hurt themselves. They're going to destroy the planet. They're going to kill each other. But mortals have, in the past, proven that they are dangerous and they are powerful. And only maybe in a few cases that they can be wise, be controlled, to be disciplined. The dragons just don't trust mortals. And they want to take over. And I think from the dragon perspective, it's very sensible. And from the moral perspective, it's very much against free will.
Yeah.
So if it's done in time, I can't tell you that, but you guys are trying to get there and go as far as you can before Dragonkind has a say about it.
But they do know that there is a space station that exists.
They know that the gnomes are going up.
So they're actively looking for something that they think is going on in outer space.
Yes, they know the gnomes have taken their airships and have gone up higher than they would like to see. And so far, the gnomes have been able to kind of like keep their distance and escape. Once you get past high clouds and mountains and such, they use anything they can to try to get away. And because the dragons aren't attacking in this period. In this period of 50 years, if a dragon saw an airship, they're not going to try to kill it because they specifically made a peace agreement. We're not going to attack you. You know, do what you're going to do. Figure out what you're going to do with your cultures. Adjust your civilization for dragon law and dragon rule. So the dragons see you, they may want to follow, but it's a cat and mouse game. So it makes it easier for the gnomes to get away with it, because eventually they're going to figure out how to try to maneuver out the dragon. But if they had to fight the dragon head on, would an airship survive? I don't think so. Maybe a fleet. So.
All right. Dragons in space. And
So,
us.
some additional knowledge. Dragons in space, yeah. So, there's a lot more to this story, way more than what I presented to you two. It's like all I've given you is like the little core in the beginning. And the story just goes out in all crazy ways, and it can go in various ways. In the past, I keep you guys on the rails. And depending on the campaign, I've done that more, I've done it more loose. Obviously, Gnome Patrol Season 2 is when I gave you guys sandbox time, and you guys took that and you went super deep into one place. And you didn't sandbox we just went hard. And you saw a great mission. I was like, this mission is something that people would do in like a great campaign. You're like, we're going to do it now. So I've decided it did go well. It did go well. So I've decided to give you something that is a hybrid of rail and sandbox. So yes, you're in space. I've railed you by putting you into space onto a space station. But from that point, it's sandbox.
Okay.
So there are many ways that have come to me instantly when I created it. That like you could die this way, you could die that way, you could die in the vacuum of space. It's really easy to die.
Absolutely. Space.
Yes, absolutely.
Space is super dangerous.
Yes. So it is absolutely going to be about how creative you are, realizing what's around you, what you can use to your advantage, and thinking outside the box. Because you may just like not do something, and then you're like, oh, we could have done this and this and this, and we could have did that. And I feel like you could die in a very confined, isolated way instead of actually seeing what the whole quest is in its entirety.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
yeah, you will start on the station and out of body, and you will have a mystery.
Yeah, remember we covered that. Don't be confused, Dan. We're
Dan,
literally not going to be in our own
the way
bodies.
Dan's mind work is very interesting because like Dan will get caught on something, and then when you're talking, he's still there, and then it's gone over, and then he goes, wait, he catches back up.
Wait.
Yeah,
So he
we
latches
know-
on, and he likes to sit there and really mold it and carve it out until he figures it out, and then he answers that question until he's
We know
ready.
we're not going to be in our bodies when we start. And we know, and correct me if I'm wrong, that our bodies are on the station someplace, but we're not going to be like in them to begin with.
Correct.
To start. And that's it.
Are we going to be like...
And
It sounds funny already, right?
And we already know that there's going to be that sort of ability or function, if you will, where we can like transfer, right?
So I talked, which is a bit of a spoiler. We talked about the
bit.
fact that there is technology at this time in the world where your soul crystal. Well, that's incorrect to say. There's technology at this time. This is like a, oh my God, it happened like today or very recently technology, where your consciousness can exist onto a crystal, and you'll be able to put it in different places. For example, like you can put it in a spaceship and run a spaceship. You can put it in a suit and run the suit. So it's a different kind of existence. It's very similar to crystal board, which is, kind of what that is.
Okay.
So, and it goes more evolved than that. We've talked about how the fans, it's possibly that they could be inserted into your suit like an AI, and they can assist you, and they will get a wit to use to assist you in whatever you're doing.
Okay.
That's cool.
Is there going to be any aspect like there was in the last campaign where, like, we're in a different dimension, different multiverse, questioning reality, stuff like that?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not. We've done that.
Okay.
Are you happy for that? Because it's easier on the brain.
No, I feel the same way. Like we've done that.
Yeah.
But when you say like we're going to be, our consciousness is going to be here and our bodies are going to be there, that's it. That's like its own thing. But they just kind of like raise that question.
Right. So technically, Crystalborn, their consciousness is in the planet, in the field of the planet within, and in the ego realm of the planet. And then when they connect to the crystal, they're back in the physical realm. So yes, in that way, it's there. But that's not what's going to be explored by this campaign. It's going to be... this is all about, I would say, the exploration of consciousness. And actually, maybe very appropriately, that Tom is Miles O'Brien, because it might even be an exploration of the human condition.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah. That's what this is about.
We believe in honesty and integrity. We strive to be.
Okay.
I
Our?
feel honest.
Well, I'm a gnome,
really
so
I think
the human condition is kind of
Right.
like a little whatever, but yeah. As a gnome,
I'm going to mute you guys really quick. So I think one of the fans has the audio playing. Yeah, this is absolutely about the human condition. That's literally what this is about. The last, what would you say Knights of Andar was about, if you wanted to kind of sum it up quickly?
Wow.
I think Knights of Andar to me was about what is someone's worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Would you agree with that?
To an extent.
What about like perception of a relationship too? Sort of like somehow like I don't know if I'm not putting it in the right words, but like just like the relationships between like the characters are
Yeah.
so
Right.
like
That's
like-
how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, it's like what are you
Yeah.
worth to yourself and to each other?
and to each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
kinda,
what
yeah,
what
Right.
is your responsibility
right
to your
to your
to
people
fel-
that
to
you're
your-
with,
your-
kind
right.
of, and
Right.
yeah.
And that was Knights of Andar. That was the last quest we played. That was the ending of basically all Celestial War. And what's interesting is that Arcane City, which was obviously where Rob's character Caddock started, Arcane City was the quest that I put up to be the polar opposite from Celestial War, where you guys are pitted against each other immediately. And I did that as much as I could. I literally put you guys in rooms with a dagger, saying "kill each other," and just saying, "Let's see who dies," because
Right.
let's see what happens. But you guys ended up like solving your differences or dealing with your differences and being so patient with each other, and
yeah. And then
it's funny because you got through that. But then we put Knights of Vandar, which is now just kind of later in life, and like
nope. Just no.
everyone had like a weird. I don't want to say weird. Everyone had like a strong feeling or opinion about everyone else's character and why they were doing it, and then they didn't really agree with this person. They kind of only agree with that person. This person's okay.
A lot of conflict.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was truly a
personal,
group that
conflict.
was on the mission for the mission and for nothing else.
Yeah.
And it was amplified by the fact that Brooke joined after, and Brooke was on like a completely different wavelength.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, Maya. So that was wild. That was a wild quest. You know, it's up there in the faves. It's hard for me to choose which, but it's up there.
Yeah, I felt like it was very relevant social commentary. Because I think the way I saw it, and obviously I'm seeing it through the eyes of Hutch, was that like your value, or like everyone's value, lies in the relationships that you form and the trust that you garner with other people, and not so much in like, here's what I can do with this weapon.
Yeah.
Here's what I can do with it. Here's my aptitude with this tool.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Which makes the lack of teamwork or true teamwork kind of like shine in that situation, because people just couldn't really. It's weird because in some ways you guys were like in season 2, you guys were like working together as a team. Wormwedge, guys.
Hey.
So, you know, and you guys started, it was good times. You started working together, and then I was like, okay, here it comes. Here's the party. And then it ended with the true test of that party, which was the Sunken Kingdom with Soma. You know, and Soma just like ripped you guys apart, and just like whatever was being cohesive was like torn apart immediately. And it was wild. It was really wild. It was the most interesting playthrough that I think I've ever done.
I think it's I love that quest. Don't get me wrong. I think it was really interesting because I feel like, and I don't know how Hutch felt or how you felt playing Hutch, but I definitely felt like my character was for a long time waiting for Caddick to show the real Caddick. He wouldn't believe that the real Caddick was what he was seeing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like he was like, no, deep down, this guy is gonna like
Right.
the leader. This leader of men is gonna show up.
Right.
And then like no, it's not there.
He
It's not there
does show
anymore.
up.
Yeah.
But it's not the episode you're on. It's the last episode.
After he's
Yeah.
And he's
dead.
Yes.
He's like all of the all of
Did
the
you
guilt
watch? Did
and
you
the-
watch it?
Yeah. Like it's like, and then he's
Like so once he dies, it's almost like he's like, oh,
right.
I could finally lead now. I just relax. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Lead when you're alive.
All of his worldly weight was just
Yes,
shed.
yes, and that is very Rob Spataro, because Rob takes that weight on with things, and he gets very, very invested into the character, and he's feeling every bit of that character, and he's overthinking every situation, and that's also what makes it great to play with Rob.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to watch when his character died, that he's like, oh, I could just relax and just lead the way that they expected me to do. I could be the knight now, but like, why? Why? He had too much weight from his responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think all that weight was just crushing him. And that's what it is.
That's what happened with Caddick too, probably.
Yeah. Arky,
Exact same thing.
tribute to Rob, Arky Fint and Caddick Hartford, like two incredible characters, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now to bring it back to this quest is, I think exploration of the human condition is exactly correct, because it's going to explore consciousness in many states and how we exist and what's okay. Like right now in real life, we're going into AI, and there's a lot of things going on with, like, you know, people talking about extending their life and, you know, and new technology. And just the world's just a weird place right now. And I think that it's a great time to have a discourse about the human condition, which has been done many times before. But this will be another way, and maybe perhaps a new way to do that. And on the other side of it, different from the last quest, it'll be absolutely about the teamwork, because that is literally what it's all centered around. It starts with the ultimate test of teamwork, actually.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
So do you have the next quest plan when we immediately crash and burn in episode 1?
No, but I will. I'll have it ready by tonight. Yeah, and if that happens, as everyone knows, if a quest fails, it's going to fail, and then I will move the timeline forward as if you failed, and what did the other sides do, what power struggles move forward, and that's it. It would just continue. And for a long time, I thought you guys were going to fail for Knights of Andar, and you won in a weird way. It came so close, closer than anyone could imagine.
Yeah, no, I'm like
technically you won.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of when Brooke said sapling.
Oh,
and it was
Yeah,
Yes.
that was.
Yes. I forgot the other words you
down
kept
to
saying.
like a second, like or whatever it was, like on the countdown. Like that was like we were.
I was like,
5. That was it.
4. She said every word you could think of with S. Yeah, that was wild. That was a wild episode. So that's what it's about. Fans, any questions you want to ask about the coming quest?
Oni had a question in chat that I wanted to ask.
Oh,
for
sure.
that.
Let's check it out. Let's see. Oni says one of the ships that are now part of the space station, the Dawn. No, it's not, because I wouldn't do that without your character, Liv Moore. But Liv Moore, I thought about how much Liv Moore would be involved in this, and I think Liv Moore would have been involved in the initial stages of helping them get out to space.
We were talking about how maybe my character worked with Liv Moore prior to as well, because like.
Yeah, you're talking about this character?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like at some point, like leading up to where we are now, maybe.
That's where you learned that's where you earned your wings.
Yeah, so you could say that you
because that's like my
flew.
like story wise, background wise, my character like is very interested in getting the gnomes off planet. Like he wants to like.
Yeah.
You know.
So you probably a progression for you. This is we can the last topic of today. We could talk about your backstories and like fill that up, and then I'll reveal one interesting thing about the quest. So you could have started perhaps in Rhaegar. You're a pilot. There's not many places to start as a pilot, and then you could have gone off with Liv Moore, and then you could have gotten involved in this when this came up. So,
Hey, Scrow, just an idea for a name for you.
Oh, he said radar
Using the name
before.
Wadar.
Oh, radar.
Okay, interesting.
It sounds like you're trying to say radar, but you're the guy
that-
from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
Radar's kind of cool, actually. I like that.
Oh, do radar.
Radar's kind of cool.
Yeah, do radar.
I like that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Where's
that
Rob?
show. I love Nash. No, I love Nash. That'd be
You should do radar. I like that.
All right, I'll be Radar. I
Yeah.
like that.
What are you? You're
A gnome.
You are gnome. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring your teddy bear.
Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, so radar, and you need a name too.
I like it. He's like, don't bother me.
Dan has his pattern that he does. He makes names.
I'm not-
It's always ding 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 ding.
I can't do this with him. Has to be a little more. That's like an NPC of like Rospicios or something like that.
So
Rospicios.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're a Seth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be something
Yeah. It's gotta have a
Like
little.
otherworldliness.
Yes.
right. It
Yeah.
can't just be
etherealness
like
to it.
Steve,
Yeah, it's-
Frank.
Eldronics.
Something like that.
How about Drin?
No.
How about Jin?
No.
How about truck?
How about Radon?
Truck?
Oh yeah, let's really.
Radon and Radar.
Something like. How about?
How Egon?
No.
Egon.
How about Riptide?
Huh?
Riptide.
Riptide. He's reading a list. Where are you reading a list from?
I'm just name
You
generator.
you just generating names?
Yeah, nothing I like though. How
Yeah,
about something like. How about like
I'll
Kosis?
heap of different things.
Kosis?
Kosis.
You know what's a great name? What about Trucks? These character
How
Trucks
about
or Supersonic Command.
soda?
Trucks is a cool. TRUX. That's not cool.
7.
That's cool.
That's cool, but I would never think that it's TRUX. I just think of trucks.
Okay, so. Hey, so
Who am I?
Or what about aircraft carrier?
What was the last thing you said? Kyphosis?
Kosis.
Kosis.
Kosis. I feel
Kosis sounds like you have a disease.
Yeah, I think that's I feel like it should have more of a hard sound in it, like a guff, that kind of.
Well,
It should have a guttural sound somewhere in there.
what element are you going, Dan?
What element?
What element you gonna learn?
Yes.
He doesn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't
Like-
thought about it yet.
Because I think that needs to be tied into your name.
No, that one
I
sounds
mean,
like
no,
a
you
spade to
but
me.
you'd have it named first
Doesn't
before,
have to be. Yeah.
unless you're
like-
calling yourself by
That's
one
true,
name.
yeah. what I wanna study.
1950s DC hero.
It's tricky.
Kosis could be like a last name.
How about Callan?
Kosis? No, I don't think it should be any name.
Psychosis.
exactly.
That's
exactly
where
why.
it's coming from.
Yeah.
Psychosis.
How about Psy?
Psy?
PSY.
Nah.
Genghis.
Yeah, Gangnam Style.
Yes.
It's a little too famous, that name. now.
How about
How about Callan?
Callan.
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 Chiron?
Last name.
Callan. I don't know. I like
Caliban.
Caliban? Caliban.
Cypher.
These characters from 1980s X-Men comics now.
Cypher-Diaz.
Cypher-Diaz.
No, I can't. Especially after Last Quest, I can't pick the name of someone who double-crossed everybody in the Matrix.
Merovingian.
Merovingian.
Tank, Dozer, Switch.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
Link.
Is that who you want?
Link.
Matrix names?
No, I'm saying that's why I won't pick Cypher.
Oh,
Okay.
Cypher.
So-
Yeah, it's very Matrix.
We'll
about
move on
Chimeras?
from this. We'll let you think about it because this is Ripping TV right now. We'll let you think about that.
That one.
Anagram Thomas Anderson. Tom Anderson's Neo's.
I'll try
There you
that.
go.
I'll try
American
that.
Anagram it.
This one's
Ander.
pretty cool.
Yeah, Ander's good.
Ender.
Ander.
You get like, yeah, I like that.
Oh man.
It's like Ender's Game.
It's like
Ender.
Yeah, I was
which
gonna
is a
say,
you could do
space-
you could do
Ender.
Ender.
Yeah, like a space. That's like a space battle-y kind of a name too.
Yeah.
And he's just like the most brilliant person. In the,
Tactician.
Maybe. This one is cool too. Skakos.
Cool.
Yes.
Stockholm Syndrome?
Stockholm. Skakos.
Okay, so we established your history. So you had a fight in some kind of battle. Where do you think that you would have fought as being a dwarf? It could have been in the dark.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that. Like, I was trying to think of what battles would have been. Like, he's a dwarf, so you can go back a longer period of time. A
Yeah.
little bit.
What if you? I'll just throw some things at you. So what if you, you were fighting and using like huge like siege engines of war,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the battle in the dark, fighting off the triad.
Yep.
And when you came to the surface, you were around them so much, you were like, I could build these. And then you left the dark, maybe because it was, you know, your battling for there was over, whatever happened. And then you heard about what was going on, and you're like, I could probably be of some use here. And then you started to maybe get into Rhaegar, and you saw technology, and you're like, this is a way to fight, but not like get
Right. Yeah.
kind of like Miles. You were too deep in it. Now it's a way to fight, but not be so
Right.
lost.
I
Or-
like that.
Or
All right.
you could be from Silver City. And
Yeah,
Luke
find the
Singleton
Minotaurs.
is there.
You could have been fighting the Minotaurs. That's also a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah, I just feel like from the Silver City, I would have like that kind of magic-y vibe too, and I wasn't really going there, right? Like everyone
Not
there
all of them
uses.
did.
No.
I feel like
Uh,
that was
you
like
could be the
ingrained,
siege
right?
guy.
that's only
Oh, is that only
that's
one?
one guild.
I guess I could be if you wanted to do that too, like be part of that, like the techie clan, like the guy that bought the.
So where's the hard battling? That would be with the Minotaurs, I guess.
Yeah, or it could be in the interim. Like who knows? They had that path open.
so
you know what I
ma-
mean? Like maybe they defeated the Minotaurs, and now there's the
So
like
you-
the Triad's trying to come through there. Or something.
oh, so you were fighting the Triad from that city underneath.
Yeah, like that was the after effects of.
But the door was closed. That's the whole point of that,
Oh, yeah,
that story.
yeah.
Well, there was Triad that was in Silver City. Maybe they tried to uprise
That's
him.
true. Maybe they came, but they
don't think
came coming in through the door.
There's not a battle there because that's the whole point.
I like the dark. We don't use the dark enough. I like the dark. I like coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charles
Actually,
is very happy.
Tom,
Yeah.
I've got an
Come on.
area you could use it too. Is the one we had to do with the dragon, and he was carpet bombing, and then the fans also joined him with that battle down under the dark. It was an Ironstone, the freeing of
Yeah.
Ironstone.
I like
It's a
that.
long time ago, but it would kind of fit.
Ironstone hasn't had
That's a
too many
long
battles.
The other one I was thinking was Hammerdune.
I'll go back. I'll go back and look. I remember Ironstone.
Hammerdune, you guys weren't you guys weren't there. It's like the dwarven capital basically. And then Hammerdune went deep down.
Yep.
And that battle would have been like you're just basically trying to close your borders and fight them off and like get to keep them out. There was actually a whole war. There's a whole separation between all the engineers actually that went down, got lost, and they got separate. The societies got separate, and that's why there's the Greystone, another city down there, and Hammerdune up top because they lost contact, got separated. Greystone thought they were going to be rescued by them, but they were just too far away, and the two societies kind of formed after many years. You could have been.
Tom could also be like Phil's character, a man out of time.
Nah, we have one of them.
I'm not even very excited at the fact that we have one person like that. I feel like because we have to work in a whole story to make that happen. So I would say I'd say
I'm fine. I can be older, not old, but I could be. I could have lived life. You know, I don't have to be young.
It doesn't matter. Whatever you
Right.
wanna
So
do.
I think we could do things like that.
You could,
or even like if I like that. Okay, we've seen Hammerdune or we've seen Ironstone in our quest. This is something that happened while other things were going on. This is what they were doing, right?
Yeah, so you wouldn't be
so.
so old. You would be probably definitely over like 150.
Yeah.
So you'd probably like 200, 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well into adulthood.
yeah, so you would have fought the Triad,
Right.
which is dwarves, gnomes, whatever. And then you would eventually have went to the surface for whatever reason.
Right. I think you kind of, and that's good because that gives me motivation too to like why is he invested in this? Like what did he like? If he saw what happened when like these people are in a line, they're fighting each other, and like the horror that comes out of that. Like if he sees an opportunity to kind of work collaboratively with people, he might want.
You
to
could have a
that.
bigger effect on this, and the war hasn't started yet, and you have a jump on it. The other
Right.
one, you were kind of in the trenches, trapped within it.
Right.
You may feel like you have more control here, and you could do some good.
I like it.
So yeah, but
All
feel
right,
free to
I'll
change
just
anything you
see
want.
the
figure out
threat
what
that
city
dragons
it's from.
are.
I want to go back and look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
them both.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good one, Tom. Is you can look at it and go, you can see the rise of the dragons coming through, and you go, I can see what this is going to happen. We've got this hiatus of 50 years, but they're coming, so we need to
Right.
prepare.
And like I know, like that's the thing. Like from Ironstone, I have direct understanding of like what that is, like culturally, because like there was a dragon there, right? So like there's that piece of it. Like I know, like I know I've saw what happens when they rule. You know,
If you're from Ironstone,
yeah, right.
the dragon didn't rule though.
Oh, he was
That
just
dragon,
that,
that dragon was like a puppet for
that's right.
the wizards.
the mind flayer guys, right?
They were opposing as mind flayers, but they weren't actually mind flayers.
That's right. That's right.
They were trying to attack without exposing who they really were, so they were just making creatures up.
But there
They
was
still
a
would
dragon in
have that
Ironstone.
experience.
There was a
seeing it.
dragon, but it wasn't like it ruled.
Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rage appears in the quest I think 3 times, and Rage just gets shafted. Like every time you see him, he's just getting the short end of the stick. Sorry, Rage.
I mean, you could have even been in the Iron Kingdom when Atlas was originally attacking, in that massive battle that happened there. You might have come up from Ironstone because you were called on. You went into that battle. You're part of it, and all of that.
Good. I think you need a dwarf. I don't feel like a dwarf. You could have been a part of it, but I think you need a war.
Yeah, and I actually like it not being something that we've seen in Quest.
Yeah,
Let's
it gives you
build-
room. It gives you room to add story there.
Yeah, exactly. It gives us more backstory to potentially bring in and play with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So under those terms, you would be from Hammerdune.
Yep.
You would have came to the surface. You eventually would have made your way to Rhaegar at whatever time you think is right.
Sounds good.
Rhaegar puts out kind of like a call to everyone else, and I would imagine they would do it through the exchange actually, and then kind of say what they're doing, what they're preparing, and they're just trying to get people to come in and sign up.
Who's in charge of Rhaegar
Tato.
Oh, he sold it. Okay.
Tato.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
We played the kids D&D,
oh, okay.
which was like a month ago, 2 months ago, and Bellamont shows up. It's in the between period here, the 50 years. It's in there, and we see what happens to him.
Oh man.
So that was fun. I get to yell. I yelled at all the kids as Bellamont. I was like, I need a good villain. I was like, how can I not just use Bellamont? I'm just gonna yell at the kids. They're gonna hate him and love him at the same time. So they did really good, actually. They did pretty good. And that story is called the Kingdom of Astra. And Astra is a civilization that people have heard about, but it feels like a myth because people don't know where it is. And it's kind of the first civilization that was a pull-away civilization of people saying, we need to survive and get off the map. Kind of like what Anwar was. But then Anwar became known because it was so big after a time. Astra did that, and Astra is high up somewhere hidden. And no one knows where it is. And people were like, it's almost like ambrosia. Like, you know, like they want to find how to get there if we could, but we don't want to expose it. And dragons don't know where it is. And the Bellman finds it. The Bellman has his own plan. So,
Doesn't he
Asher's out
always?
there, and then this is the other way that Rhaegar tries to do something else. So let's go to Dan.
I got a quick building question if I could ask you really quick.
Yeah, sure.
On items that you can upgrade, right? I see some of them have like max ones. Obviously, you can just get one upgrade for that ability.
Matt Green, what's going on? What's up?
Let's go ahead.
On some of them say max 3 for the upgrade. Is that going to be for a total of 4 then skill level?
Yeah, when you
So
buy
it's
it,
like-
you're at 1. You get to
Okay.
4. But guess what? If you find it
it's
again,
like adding 3 after.
so
the
yeah,
initial
say you find like I don't know, pickpocket, right? And you level it up all the way to 4. If you go again and find pickpocket another profession, you can go 5, 6, 7, 8.
one. Right. Okay.
Mm.
Cool. I just
And-
wanted to make sure if it was like an additional 3 for the one or
Yeah, additional 3.
total. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
It's all about stacking.
Stack it
So
up.
let's talk about your character.
Stack 'em.
Stack him. That's his name. Stacks.
Stacks?
No, I'm just kidding. So,
Packing, stacking.
so where does Akbar come from?
Akbar. Oh man, I want to be Akbar.
No, you chose something else. Your radar.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you are a
Radar
Seth. Seth lived at the threshold of what was the shield that encapsulated Dragano in the center of the world.
Oh.
That ended, obviously. That shield is no longer in existence, but that was what gave birth to the Seth. You know, like it made them unique in characteristics because of their proximity to the shield. And that's why they have like super arcane defensive capabilities. They would have traveled eventually outward from the center of the world, traveling around. There's many reasons you could have left. And you're starting as apprentice.
Apprentice.
So you could have
Arcane City.
you could have made your way to Arcade City not knowing what was going on,
It'd be risky, right?
And you found maybe you found were you successful? Did you find something you had to find? Maybe it was a mission set to you by your mentor, like a wizard that you were working for as apprentice for, and you were set to find something there, and maybe you did. Or maybe you did it and then you saw the overworld and you started exploring from there. What are you thinking?
I would think like I'm looking for knowledge. So would it be possible to have, if you're talking about having a mentor and being an apprentice, would that just be a Seth who I have a relationship with, or would it be someone who I found on the surface
You could.
after I would have gone out to look for knowledge?
You can do Sage.
Yeah.
So 100%, it makes sense for you to go to Arlight
Mhm.
because that's the great library and that's literally where you go for knowledge. It also makes sense that you could have either gone there and then your mentor, if he's wily enough to send you out to Arcade City to like try to find some, maybe you wanted to find some like, maybe he tells you about lost arcane tomes and such that are in Arcade City. And maybe you go on like an event. Now I want to play that game. Next adventure. That's what happens.
So
if you
looking
guys-
for specifically knowledge about crystals?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe you went out there and you I could start you with a like a book or two on them, and you went out there to find them and you brought it back. And then our light is a skip hopping away from Rhaegar, and you would easily find out what's going on. And then maybe you feel like that's a way to kind of test yourself because crystals are in space and stellar, you're finding out.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can use this knowledge to help.
Yeah. I also, I think once I would leave, I like the idea of going out and just kind of like trying to make it on my own and trying to like explore the surface.
So would you have gone to Arcane City by yourself?
No, I probably would have gone to our light first. Because like, if I know that that's where the knowledge is, that's where there's a lot to learn there. That's probably where I would go. If I found someone who would teach me, and he told me, hey, go to the Arcane City to find something that you're looking for. You might find an adventure too. I feel like I would go, but also I kind of want. I think it's kind of cool to have like, you know, another story happening too, where like as I'm exploring the surface, I'm not really too thrilled with what I see. So now here's an opportunity to go even further out. So now I'm going.
What do you mean?
Like,
I'm a little worried because I have a thing where I don't like when people make characters that are just depressed and down about things.
No.
So I feel like it doesn't. It only detracts from the story. Perry did that a little bit, and he did that with his character. His character was like so depressed. He's like, I don't know, whatever. And it just gives a mood that is not great. It's interesting. It adds that. But also, it's just like a down. Deltuvin was like that a little bit. And you made it interesting. But like every time he's down, it's almost like a downer to the story a bit. But now this character would be doing something like another Deltuvin.
No, that's not how I see him. Like,
Do you mean like he's disappointed because you wanted newness and it's more of the same?
no, like it's not enough.
What are you looking for?
Like, I feel like if he's going from like being trapped in the center of the world, then he goes onto the surface. He's looking for like this, and he kind of sees like, like.
Well, I mean, our light would be an amazing civilization, untouched by. Like,
yeah.
Well, not anymore, but.
But it's almost like if he's there with Drogano, right? And he kind of knows that like the world is kind of.
He lives on the edge of darkness, pretty much.
Right, he lives on the edge of dark, but he kind of knows that the world is concentrating on this shield and keeping Drogano in there.
Yeah.
So it's like now, if he goes to the surface to see, like, all right, the whole world is wide open to me, and it's almost again he's seeing the same thing where he's like, there's this big wide open world, but everyone was worried about this one thing, keeping Drogano contained. Now it's like big wide open world again, and everyone is worried about dragons taking over the world. So now he's like, I have a chance to go even further into outer space, explore even more, and use my knowledge to kind of...
That's interesting. So is it because you feel suppressed and controlled, and you want to escape that? Or is it just like you want to go out there to be free, to explore, do what you want? Is that what it's about? Is it about the freedom? Or is it about...
More that, yeah. Because when I say, like, he kind of doesn't like what he sees... Like I keep saying, like he's expecting this wide open world, but he's kind of like experiencing something that's a little more focused than he would like.
Yeah,
It's
tricky with the dragons because the dragons they're not saying we're gonna kill you. Right. If you fight us, we're gonna fight you. But like they're not saying that. They're not trying to just letting you know we're gonna be in charge and you're gonna deal with it. That's obviously strong-handing the world. But they're not burning the world to the ground like the old dragons, that happened, which is some of them. So it's weird. Drogano was a very complex situation. He was there for pretty much since the birth of Andarian, almost. So it's weird. He would see the dragons as being like they're taking over, I guess, as a bully. That would bother him.
He thinks the dragons are bullies?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Who?
Your character. Akbar. The general.
Kind of, in a way, I guess.
Or are you saying, like, everyone on the surface's attitude towards the dragons is the same attitude that you saw down there, and you're looking for, like, new experiences?
Not necessarily attitudes.
That's societal, which I think is not what he's going for.
Yeah. Like, I think he's looking more for...
You want to be alone?
No.
would be load your thoughts. and
No,
be
no, no.
peace?
Like
Time and
like
lasts.
think about it like this. Like think about it from the perspective of I'm someone who's kind of like stuck in one room my whole life, right?
And then you're going to another stuck in a room in a space station.
No, but like let's say you go out.
Yeah, it's a window.
And you're experiencing the world, and you're expecting people to have the same approach to a wide open world that you do, but people have this focus.
Okay, so
on
people
one thing.
aren't enjoying the world like you thought they would be because they're they're away from Dragano, and then when you get there, they're under the same strife and struggle that you were.
In a way, yes. So now it's like like I said, he's looking for creativity, he's looking for a wide open world, he's looking for wonder. And now he has an opportunity to go out into space. So he has an opportunity to go from here, then he goes to here, now he can go to here. So I think he would be very, very excited.
You're hoping
Okay,
that
so-
other people who are going to go out into space have that same kind of outward-looking mindset.
Maybe.
You just-
No. What? Here, I'll put it this way. What he
I can't wait till we get to the heart of
So
it.
like, what he thinks he can find in space, he thought he would find on the surface. But the surface was maybe much more confined than he thought it would be.
So it's the story of a man who has claustrophobia,
I don't know, maybe.
social claustrophobia.
And he just float out into the vortices of null space. and
I
he'll be
feel
happy.
like what you're saying is you want your character just wants to be at peace. And even though you're saying no, I don't believe you. I don't think that you realize what you're saying. That's how I feel. Because I feel like you keep saying the same thing. I keep saying that like you want to go further because you don't like what you feel. It's almost like you want to be away from struggle and from like the evil and the darkness and people just having to deal with like fighting things. And like this is a way where you can be involved, but like let me just be out of it and just do something. Yeah, right.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Is it? I'm trying to get. Is it like I spent my life not being physically trapped, but feeling like I have no options. I have nowhere to go. Everything's here. Everything. The whole society is focused here. Right. I'm gonna go into this wide world now. And then you
Explore.
see, no one's taking advantage of that, and like you're disappointed by that. Like people don't realize that they have a wide world. They have their world.
They're not appreciating what they have.
And now you're going to say like, let me take this next step into this even wider world, and hoping like here's the thing.
This is the most complex backstory.
Here's the thing. Why
ever
I'm
created by man.
I'm with your vibe. I feel like you're setting yourself up to in quest be disappointed because people in the quest are gonna be like narrowly focused on an issue.
He's setting himself up to
I
like
don't
finish the
think
quest
so.
and go. The best place was home.
Maybe that's
No,
it.
I think at the end of the quest, I'm going to be thinking, okay, where else can we go? What's next?
So you want to explore? You have wanderlust. You want to explore. You want to get out there.
Yeah.
But like,
There's no
I
place like
want
home.
to say you're wanderlust, but like that's not what it is. You want to get off the planet. You just want to be away from the planet, right?
No.
No, you don't want.
No.
My
When
character
I'm
does.
when
That's
I'm
me- that's my.
It's you. Okay.
I think a way to say it is like
So everyone hates the planet.
But me for not only Gnomishkind, but for anyone who
Yeah.
wants to leave
You
the
are-
realm of
you
the
are
dragons.
Moses. You're
No,
Moses.
I want to leave like
You're
I
Moses.
He wants to lead us
I
to
don't know
the
if I would go
promised
that.
land.
I don't know if I would say that, but like
No. You're
It's
Moses.
too late now. You're Moses.
Radar Moses.
I'm
That's
all-
your name.
No, J.R. Moses. We just
Radar Moses.
Radar
Radar
Moses. Radar Moses.
yeah,
like no, totally. You're Moses.
okay. So yeah, I want to lead the people.
You're gonna start with a robe. Write down robe.
Okay.
the cool.
You have two
The
stone
coolest
tablets.
one.
I'm your pilot,
on.
J.R. Moses.
I can't fly
Wait,
with
hold
tablets.
on.
Instead of
Hold on,
fighting pilot, you are pilot.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Tony, he's got two small tablets on his teddy bear.
Nice.
Yes. Your rank in the army is Pontius.
Great.
No, you could always have it that his teddy bears are called Moses, so it's Radar and Moses.
Oh, like Ratchet and Clank.
She had a wife, you know. You know what her name was?
I'm just gonna go back to building my character.
That's confidential. So what were you saying?
I said I'm gonna just go back to building my character
Oh, okay.
right now. 'Cause
That's what happens when you talk. We call you Moses.
I'm not gonna.
You
gonna
get a
talk
robe.
for a little bit. I'm gonna just keep working on my guy here.
Okay, so I don't understand your character, but that's
Well,
good. I have all season to figure
I'm
it
still
out.
trying to work through it as
He has
I'm
wanderlust. He
talking
wants to
about it,
explore the world.
yeah. Sure. Yes.
Why isn't that correct?
And it is. It's boiled down into like that's the bones.
It's
that's
a
the
what?
bones.
Just give me one sentence. Why does he leave home?
'Cause he wants
One
to-
sentence.
He wants to explore.
And is that it?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. No, you say, well, yeah, sure.
And it doesn't
Good enough.
capture the entire essence of everything. When it boils
Why?
down,
Why doesn't it capture?
it's complicated.
Exactly.
I don't want to make a simple character that can be boiled down, whose entire psyche can be boiled down to one sentence. I want to give him some layers here. I want to give him some motivation.
He has layers.
Good.
He has so many. I haven't even heard him speak, and I know he has layers upon
Good.
layers.
All right.
He's like
Hey,
we'll call
listen,
him an onion.
if you're worried about that, he's going to be like this pessimistic.
No, he's not. It's
dragging
what
the
you're
party
saying.
down.
No.
Okay.
I understand.
Great.
He will
No,
be.
I'm not
100%.
worried anymore because you explained it before. I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck's going on here.
Okay.
So we're gonna end this in about 2 minutes. Do you have any questions about?
No, I'm feeling pretty
Moses,
good.
you good?
I gotta
Okay.
say, yeah.
Moses Akbar, Miles O'Brien. This is where we're at. This is what we
Session
reached.
0.
You start off the quest as, I am a dwarven fighter. And then on quest 5, I'm Miles O'Brien, I'm Moses, and I'm Akbar. I want to explore, but I want to get away. But I don't want to get away. I'm not happy with the world. But I am happy with the world. But I'm not really happy with the world.
It's not unhappiness so much as it is the lack of
Whatever.
The lack of happiness.
to be happy. It's
So, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with these two things. One, this expedition is led by the now famous. Fans cannot answer because they know. Who? For 50 experience points, roll a die to see who asks first.
Who does what?
Who's leading this expedition?
What do you mean? Who asks
the
first?
now famous. He's going to give us all a
Between
chance.
even though I have no idea right now. So you
He has
go
no
for it.
idea right
No
now,
idea.
so.
One.
Classic.
5.
All right, I'm gonna roll. Just roll, and I rolled a 2.
Okay, so I get my first guess.
You get the first guess.
The now famous.
Yeah. Not that they didn't have fame before, but like the now,
Super famous.
yeah, much more famous.
I'm going to say
Think about the expedition it is, and it's led by this person.
Yo-Yo Ferdy.
Whoa, cool.
No,
That's a good guess, though. I like the guess.
but I'll tell you something about Yo-Yo in a second.
Cool.
You go, right?
All right, I'm gonna go. Hang on. Corny.
Corny would have been a good one, but no, not Corny.
That's my best.
Dan, you're up.
guess.
That's a good guess.
50
That's
experience
funny.
points.
We picked each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't plan that.
Well,
Swoosh.
No.
Ooh.
Okay.
To lead.
Wow, I didn't think we have to go deep for this. Tom, back to you.
Okay.
We'll do one more round. If you don't get it, I will just tell you in no experience
Man,
awarded.
I don't have another guess.
Can you give us a species?
No.
Too easy.
you give us a time frame. An age range. A relatively young.
No.
Okay.
Give us a first and last
all right.
name.
I'm going to guess this is.
Think about what's happening, what's going on,
Right.
and who would be suited to do it. If you went back and forth with a camera, you would see that Dan and Damien are mirroring each other's stressful positions.
I'm going to say
I don't know.
that this is now being led by.
Maybe a person you think that can't lead it, but they can. Maybe you think they're not around, but they're around.
Ooh. Oh, that throws your loop. I was going to guess someone who we would not necessarily think would be a leader and who would want to do this.
Oh no. Okay. Who is it?
Well, I was going to say somebody who has been vocal about their lack of desire for the dragons to be in charge.
Interesting.
And who has vocally said we had made the wrong decision by making a deal with the dragons.
There
I
you
was
go.
going to guess Maya,
There you go.
first character from the last quest.
Incorrect.
That's a good guess. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not going to say it rhymes with Marl Binger.
No way!
Do these guys know? Do the fans
They
know?
do know.
Oh, they know.
Although I think Andrew forgot.
No, Charles forgot. That wasn't me.
Oh, Charles forgot. Oh,
Alright.
Charles, you have no idea.
I forgot.
Oh.
I
Don't
put it
say
in
it.
there. But I'm not sure if that's the right one, but
Can I give Charles my guess?
No, you have to guess. I told them
don't
already.
know.
Originally, I was thinking someone from the last.
No, Michael, no. Michael says, Archie Fint.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Imagine if Rob just showed up.
Wow.
That would be nuts.
Who is it?
Imagine.
Come on down.
It's not even thrilling at this point. It's Rob.
Every time I point to the door, I was saying there's a 60% chance it's Rob. And I'd like, and this person, you had no idea. It's Rob. What?
I can't believe
No way. It's Rob again. And then I threw Brooke in there once just to throw people off. And then it was like Rob again after. Just bet Rob.
It's just because Rob brings all the chaos.
Right. And you keep thinking he's gone, and I keep pulling him back in.
All right, come
I
on.
don't need that on the spaceship, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, Davey doesn't know.
I don't know. I can't believe I came up with as good guesses as
that
I already
wasn't-
did.
Yeah, I know. I
Like,
can't believe you came up with all those good guesses.
At least one.
David,
I had
come
great.
trouble with one.
So
Great.
who else?
I don't
Think
know.
about who else was around at the last quest that might be leading this expedition. Someone who we
Can't
may not
remember
think would
anybody
be
else
here,
who didn't die. I'm trying to think.
right? You said maybe
You may not think they're here. I can see you thinking they're not here, and that would be a very valid thought.
I don't know. People I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure like died. So
That's a
I
good
don't-
reason to
that's-
think they're not around.
Right. So that's why I'm just not coming up with.
I'm going to give you 15 seconds.
I don't know. I got no guess.
No
I
guess.
would, but I would think that's a reason to guess that person. If
Just
they're
guess
dead.
anything.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like the who?
Anyone
No.
can do it.
Not the loop.
It's
I'm
that-
going to lead us to space. The loop.
I wouldn't expect it to be
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Good
I can see it though.
someone.
You know,
And also, you said
he's
someone
like
who
a
you may not
commander.
expect to be a leader.
But it's a very appropriate
Right.
person for this job. Like, it's like lamb and tuna fish.
What?
Did you say?
Perhaps you prefer spaghetti and meatball?
Chicken and parmesan?
What do you prefer?
Oh, I have another guess. I don't know if this is right either, but you go.
I'm thinking someone from Last Quest. No?
No, my guess.
Oh, you saw that? You said no.
Yeah.
That's not my guess. It's not from last quest. But I don't know. I was wrong 12 times. I'm probably not right.
He was
third
wrong
time.
toilet times.
Toilet times. Number 2. I was wrong twice.
All right.
I tried to say twice and 2 times at the same.
I was wrong toilet times.
I was wrong twice. I'm probably wrong a third time. Don't listen to me.
I'll say Sir William.
No.
Good guess.
No.
All right.
Damien's happy you guessed his character. but
I am.
no.
And he would be on.
I wouldn't do a person that has a character because I would make them.
Right.
Just
I'm
be
sorry.
clear.
That'd be a lot.
It's not like they started this and then like they're out. No,
They're there.
they bring you. They bring you into the
Somebody
station.
that's gonna be
They're
there.
leading the expedition.
The person
there
we're,
with
the
us.
person we're guessing is there.
Well,
Or
they're leading the
in
expedition.
some way.
That's what I said.
Okay.
You could try and rephrase that if you wish.
Is it Hutch?
No,
He said
it's
it's
not a
not
person.
PC,
It's not
not a
one of you.
PC.
Not a PC.
Oh.
I wouldn't do that because then you would be playing other roles. Last guess.
What? Can I ask this? It's not a PC, but was this character a PC at one time? Like, it's not one of us, but is it a former PC that for somebody who's not playing?
No, it's an NPC.
Okay, NPC. Okay, so I was wrong with that too. But all right.
It's gone so long now. I'm wondering if
I still feel like I would be like, oh, it's totally this person. Whatever.
Quetzal.
Oh my God, imagine with Quetzal. Michael, we love you too. Thank you for watching always.
Michael.
Aw.
Guys, next week is episode 1 of this space mystery. I'm telling you, this is going to be different, interesting, and led by who? Who leads it? Who leads a quest into space with crystals? Using gnomish technology to get there. Gnomish technology. Crystals. Gnome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crystal.
How about,
Stop typing,
man.
Charles. Stop typing.
How about? Oh, okay. I'm gonna guess this person because I actually when you were like one day you're gonna surprise us with someone coming in, and this was who jumped to my head. I'm gonna
No.
say, Volt, Evan Moniz's character.
I got it.
Frankie, bring them in.
Imagine Relic.
No, I'm just kidding, Frankie.
Relic.
That's what I said, but he said it's not
Oh,
a PC.
oh,
So I'm gonna go Volt, Evan Moniz's character.
Volt.
No.
Was he?
That's a good one.
Yes, he's a gnome, but he's also he's
also a necromancer-y kind of.
No, well, it's a whole other thing. He's a shape changer. He's a changeling.
Oh, okay.
But he stays in gnomish form. That was the way I agreed to let him be that. He's like, but I always be a gnome. I was like, okay.
All right.
Sparky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice guess.
Nice guess.
Yes.
Wow, the
It is
legendary
Sparky. Sparky makes it back.
Awesome.
A technomancer.
He's a technomancer, which is literally like
Yeah.
technology, technomancer. He's a lot of experience. He's been through
Yeah.
everything. He comes
Makes
in
a whole
and
total sense.
walking through radar.
He could walk the radar.
Walking through Rhaegar, it's like people talk about it, like and like whispered, like, oh my God, like he's from the Celestial War. He fought. He's a hero now, and he died, but made it back because when you came back as your tree form, you were able to reach out and pull everybody you wanted with you. So you were able to save everybody. So you saved like anybody that was good that you knew. It also saved all the royal gnome family and all of them too. So that's why Bellaman's back, but he's in the usual place. So
Can't get rid of that guy.
you really get rid of Olin.
And somehow she's still
my
swimming
God.
somewhere.
Here's some news. Somebody dies between the gap because it had to happen. It is Carlinger.
Oh, yeah, age-wise,
Yeah,
right?
age.
Carlinger dies of old age,
That's so
peacefully.
Very nice.
Yeah, he dies between the gap.
So it's
And
peaceful
I'm not going to
death.
say when or put any kind of date on it because maybe we'll have an adventure or two before that happens.
Right. Cool.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta move on.
And I'm sure Jock died somewhere too.
I was gonna say Jacques.
He's out in space. He's out in space.
Well, he could have
We
survived
don't-
because of time dilation, and stuff.
yeah, we don't know. I feel
Space-time
there is a chance
dilation.
for Jacques. There is a chance. There is something built into the Spelljammer thing for the next season.
That's right.
So it's possible, but also he could be dead too. And if he does, like that's it. Like people have to have endings.
Yeah.
You can't have them forever. And I think Carl had a good run.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Had a great closing act. I
Yeah.
loved.
Oh, yeah.
I loved the ricochet.
Amazing.
You guys are getting mad too, like really mad. Like even like I'm lying to you. Like I think Brooke was getting mad. She's like, that wasn't a ricochet. I was like, no, yeah, it was a ricochet. Sorry.
And he passed a lot of
And then-
knowledge on. You've got
And then
to
it ricocheted in the evil world. It must keep going. It ricocheted off the what? Off the what? The mist in the background.
I don't know.
Came out of nowhere. Hey. That's basically what that impression is. It started off as like one of the guys that works with Vinny, and it became Will Ferrell's impression of what's his name? Harry Carey. If the moon was made of cheese, would you eat it? I would. Then I'd wash it down with a cool Budweiser. So he dies in the interim, and finally, I am now going to show you a map.
Oh boy.
This is a map of the space station, the
I
Ark.
like maps.
Here we go. It's going to appear right in the middle.
Oh.
Okay.
So the space station has that center area. You saw it in the. Does everybody remember it from the intro?
Yeah.
So obviously that's as it rotates around. There is a second layer.
I can go over here. There we go.
I peered out behind it.
Yeah, I was like.
This is the. You could like be Vanna right now. You could be like showing us the other way. Wow, you lost a job. You're fired. Vanna never aimed the opposite way.
It's hard.
It's like Nick Arcade.
I got it now. It's right
Yes,
over here.
yes.
See up
I'm
here?
trying to get it, yes, absolutely.
You can see
Um,
that the upper level.
So the center of this map obviously extends to all the different areas around, and I like that I'm talking and Frankie, you're staying on the image of just Damien.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, I see
doesn't
why.
look so good. Yeah, you
I
need
can't
me
get out of
on
the way.
this.
Yeah, stay with Damien.
I should be the one talking here,
Stay
but
with
I don't
Damien.
really know what I'm looking at. But it's obviously a space station.
That's no Charles. It's a space station. So the common area basically is kind of like the middle of the Millennium Falcon kind of feel. It's like where people can hang out and things like that. There's 2 hatches right there, and they go down to a second level. And the second level is where there's a control room, and it also is the crystal engine core, which is seen in here.
The
circle?
Yeah.
The circle at the bottom. Yes.
Okay. So the top half is where Moses' radar
Yes.
is.
Akbar.
How does gravity work on this?
Good question.
Artificial
Spins.
gravity.
Right?
Yeah, the spinning makes the gravity.
So we're the
Pulls
force is
a-
pulling us out.
Yes.
Yeah, which way is it
You would have
spinning?
more gravity on the outer side.
Right.
That's
Right, but the gravity is down. It's
So it's just artificial gravity.
you're not what? Yeah, I guess the spinning doesn't work.
the spinning.
Who designed this thing?
The spinning powers the engine that makes the artificial
There you
gravity.
go. That's it.
There you go.
Crystals. You guys
Wait,
know
are those circular? The
No, they use
outer things, or no?
the blue crystals to do the gravity, but it spins, but for different reasons.
So this
Okay.
is top down.
So
top down.
it runs the
right?
toilets. It spins.
This is actually, I mean, from the picture that we saw, this is like
This is
from
top
the
down.
yeah,
Top down.
it's like from the back, almost.
like from like this.
Right, because it.
You're not seeing the extension.
Right.
The other side has like the like antennas on it for communication, like a
Is
communication
that
array.
down or up?
Down? That's
Right.
what. That's what.
So we're
that's
looking
what
at the
this is.
We're
floor.
looking it down now. Right?
Yeah, we're almost like from behind, looking at
Yeah,
it.
no, I know when we're looking at the ship, we're looking at
I'm sorry.
we're looking at like this, right? But when we're on the ship, like we're looking down at the floor.
Yes. Yes.
When you're on the ship, you look down the floor. No, that sounds like it's voluntary.
That's what you said.
When our
This
character,
is a bird's eye view.
we're looking down
Right.
at the floor.
Right.
Yeah,
Looking down.
Okay.
yeah, you're looking down upon it. When we're on
Now,
the ship, we're
what
looking
is
at
this?
the floor.
What is this smaller space again? Would you say where was this?
That's the second level
The
down.
bottom
the
down.
second level.
Yeah, that's closer to the antenna pieces of like the
Right.
And
but
how-
below this would be all the antennas and communication array. This is
Okay.
where you would, these are actually thrusters on it, so you actually can move the station,
Okay.
and then you would go up to the other floor.
We're gonna be working on that immediately.
How do we control the
Moving
Why?
space
I don't
station?
know.
Because
Why?
I mean, you know.
I don't understand.
You flush the
Because of
toilet.
the whole.
And you flush the toilet, the water goes this way, and the space goes the opposite way.
Where's the is there a helm in this area as well or no?
No. See, these are all different. I'm not going to tell you about the station any more than that.
Okay.
You can surmise from what you see.
Okay.
But this is like a common area, basically.
The whole thing or
The
just
middle.
the middle?
The middle.
This
the
whole
middle.
middle
Yeah,
is a common area.
Oh, like this
those
whole-
are other rooms.
Yeah.
Do each of the
Okay,
5
cool.
sections have a specific purpose?
They all have, yes, they do.
Do we know if we're gonna have like armed quarters and things like that?
It looks to me, who knows, But it looks to me like the one on the right, the lower right, it looks like sleeping quarters.
Oh, I was gonna say like upper left, like around like 10 o'clock.
You think those
Yeah,
are
you
all
think
like
so?
bunks?
The beds, yeah.
I think those are all bunk beds.
I thought the ones
like,
on the
we're all
lower
gonna be
right
sleeping
are.
in one
That's-
big room like that. I
That
don't
looks
know.
like a big
friends.
couch.
That's why I'm wondering
Theater,
if we have
maybe,
our
maybe.
own quarters or if, like we're all
No,
gonna
it's
be
one
like
big
sleeping in one
sleepover.
room.
We're all roomies.
What were you saying, Andrew?
It's one big sleepover.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
Is it one big
Every-
sleepover?
Every night.
I guess you're
Okay.
probably closer to right, being that those are like 5 feet squares in the center.
They're all 5 feet. The grid, yeah.
That you're probably right. That's closer to the size of beds up at 10 o'clock. Yeah.
On the outskirts of each one is a small little room where you would hop into a gun to defend the station, and you completely imagine Luke Skywalker on the Millennium Falcon.
Got it.
Okay.
I got one.
Does it go up and down?
Man, the turrets.
What am I looking at right about 8 o'clock? That glowing purple thing.
Next to the station, to the left.
Uh-huh.
That purple thing next to the station.
Like
the left.
right outside the
The
gun.
other side of the screen. Yeah, it's waving. It's moving. It's purple.
What is this thing?
Oh my God! It's a purple dragon.
It's the raw sexiness part of the quest.
No, you know what he's asking about, right? That circle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
But
cannot
you can't tell
and
us.
will not tell you.
It's probably like the power.
I will not identify anything else on the
Yeah, over
space
there.
station.
It's probably like a power.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's good.
You're pointing to it. I didn't think about that. That's creepy.
Well, we'll have to discover
Don't touch it.
what it is.
We accomplished nothing on this.
You might set it off there.
It's a radioactive spider.
Oh no! Is he on our side?
No.
Probably not. He's purple.
Probably
Really?
Yeah.
So that is the space station.
It's the Ark.
Yes.
Cool.
That is the Ark. That is where you will start your quest. And I'm very excited to see what you guys are going to do. Again, it is a stellar mystery tabletop playthrough. If you watched today, didn't know what was going on, this is session 0. We're just going over characters. We went over the system a little bit, and we flushed out any kind of missing areas in the character's history. And we just right now showed the station called the Ark, and we talked a little bit about what happened to some characters between last story and this story. The first epic story is Celestial War. This is Celestial Engine. It starts next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope you guys will watch. And this is going to be something different. It's going to be a very fresh new perspective to how we've played the game before. And it's going to start off with a very interesting challenge.
All right.
So, guys, that's going to do it here for Audio Dungeon D6 Arcade. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Fans, thanks for joining us. And we will see you next time on Audio Dungeon. Guys, thanks so much. I'm going to leave you with the intro. Enjoy.
Night.
30 years ago, the free nations of Andaria sent an airship into the Stellar. A few years later, another. Until finally the station Ark-1, known as the Ark by its small crew, was born. Not just a symbol of the mortal ingenuity, the Ark is a symbol that mortals have a chance. A chance to not lose their world to those who would take it for themselves. Welcome to the story of the Celestial Engine.